St. Mary's, dogs barking. Okay. No shell. Oh, hey, no shell gas. That's good. What's your name?
My name's Alma Brooks.
Alma, listen. I was told to ask you. You don't know what the hell.
What's that?
Suzuki. What? How did St. Mary's save their land by the river?
How did they save
Yeah,
it by
you
the river?
you
What do
think
mean?
you think years ago, like there was racism and everything. They would have shoved the native Indians down about 100 miles in the
Well, they
woods.
tried hard to do that.
That's what's the
They
history?
tried to move us up to Keswick somewhere,
Did they?
but the old people wouldn't move. There was at one time 60 acres down there, but there was encroachment, encroaching, and now there's only like I think 2 acres left. So they registered the band and attached it to this band. They registered with Indian Affairs.
So, was there a protest? I mean, it's a beautiful piece of land.
Yeah, there was no protest.
No, it was there. I heard there was a native that stood his ground. He wouldn't move, and that's the reason.
Well, there's one family who claims that they own a portion of it, I guess. But the grandmother sold the land. There's evidence where she sold the land to the government, to the federal government, the land that they had their house on. And so when they did that, it was made all into part of the whole 2 acres, and it was assigned to this band. So she sold the land.
So how it used to be how?
Gay Backwin's, no, it would be Gay Backwin's daughter, who was married to Jim Paul. I think that's who they're talking about. Catherine, she would have been, her name would have been Catherine Ackwin, but she married Jim Paul. But she sold the land. However, everybody was allowed to live there. Every family up here had a home down there at one time. Every family on this reserve had a home down there at one time. On the old reserve.
How far was it? Like right
There
now?
were just shacks, mind you, but they had that was their home before they bought this place up here, and they gradually moved the families up here when they bought this land here from Leo Hayes.
Who's Leo Hayes?
Well, he was an old farmer that claimed all this
I never asked.
territory here.
Oh yeah, that's why they named the school after him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Leo Hayes.
that's who they bought the property from here. It was 350 acres.
Who bought it? The federal government?
The federal government. Yeah.
You know how much?
I don't know how much. I have no idea. No.
So the reserve was much bigger near the river than it is now.
It was when Gay Backwin first moved there. There were families living there, and I remember there's reading one document where they said that he grew 60 acres in potatoes. He grew potatoes, and it included land across the street even. You know. So there was quite a large piece of ground there that they were using, but white people encroached on it and started just building there and taking over.
There was even Irving gas station there.
Yeah, on the corner.
In the corner.
Yeah.
That land must be contaminated now.
It probably is. Yeah, I would imagine it would be. They never did anything to clean it.
Of course not.
So when they left, they just left.
Just like they had the tankers there right by.
And the Hydroelectric Power Commission had some kind of a station down there too. And when they took the earth from that area, and they brought it up here and dumped it up here and back the reserve, they found PCBs in that earth from that electric power plant.
Where was that?
That was, this here power plant they got behind here?
No.
Well, there's one.
Oh yeah,
over there.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can look at
okay.
it. Well, that used to be down there by just across the street from the old reserve. It used to be down there, a smaller place
Where the seafood places?
beside it, you know, a couple doors down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means that land is all contaminated.
It's
Gas
possible.
station,
I
yeah.
don't think they've ever done an assessment on it.
How did Irving get in there?
I have no idea how he got that piece of ground. I don't know. There were other businesses there on that street, though.
Yeah, somebody told me yesterday there was a takeout.
Henry Richard was on one side.
He was selling a restaurant, had all kinds of money, or
I
that's
don't
what.
know.
That's
There
what I
was
hear.
a bank
money
on
in
the other
the store,
corner.
whatever.
And then the Adnac was owned by family. I forgot their names now, but
So it was more busy, more life to it than there is now.
down there,
Yeah, there's nothing there now.
well, people lived there.
Yeah, but I mean, so in the old days it was business. The
every
Carlton Bridge was there.
Yeah, the Carlton Bridge was there. And the families, every family that's up here now had a home down there. I mean, it was very crowded. That's why they had to get more land. It was getting very crowded.
So it's interesting now. We know how they kept, but it was much bigger than that.
It was much bigger.
But you got lucky to keep
originally.
that.
Well, it's a wonder that they did, you know, they after it was made a part of this reserve here and entrusted to the federal government, then they stopped encroaching on it. So we were left with like 2 acres. I think it amounts to 2 acres now.
Maybe in 20 years from now, people will go back and say we want our land back.
It wouldn't just be that. It would be all of New Brunswick and Quebec and Maine.
And a conversation.